Physically attractive but socially awkward people. What's your story? Story 1. I was an ugly kid with no friends. Not in middle school, not for most of high school. I was just a wide-jawed, squinty-eyed, big-boned monstrosity of a child who developed mommy issues because she'd put me down in front of other people. Well, I grew into that strong jaw pretty well, grew to be 6 foot something and broad-shouldered, and my foxy eyes turned out to be my biggest asset. I have tons of confidence these days, but since I lost a decade of developing social skills, my confidence is almost entirely based on my looks. I'll spend an hour sitting and staring into a mirror before going out some nights. I'll eat in front of a mirror. I'll smile at myself, laugh at made-up jokes, just to be sure that everything checks out image-wise. I tend to be very popular nowadays, and I make more friends than I can keep up with, because I spent so much of my developmental years alone and awkward, I worry that everyone can see the residue of that. I agonize over every little social interaction for 30 seconds following it. All of my body language, even the way I sit, has been hastily but carefully considered. Every time I open my mouth, I feel like I'm about to dive into the deep end of a pool. I can't swim, and I'm always surprised when people respond positively to anything I say. I'm an engaged and thoughtful and appreciative conversationalist because I feel like I have to be just to get by. But ironically, people love that. It's not 100% paranoia either. Deep down, I really am still that awkward, lonely kid who no one wants to talk to, and that kid will show himself randomly. Like, I'll be on a date with some hot wannabe Instagram model, and the last thing she wants to talk about is the 37th President of the United States, Richard M. Nixon. But we just passed Millhouse Street, and did you know that Nixon's middle name was Millhouse? I wonder what he'd think about the dress you're wearing. You know, he used to wear a windbreaker and dress shoes, even on the beach. There's a lot of self-awareness here. I'm just thinking about him or her, this person, looking in a mirror and just watching himself be sociable, because that's what they do with every portrayal of a serial unaliver, like Dexter or anything else, or even American Psycho. They have that little interaction just so you know that they're so self-involved that they're up to nefarious intent. It's probably not going to happen with this guy, right? Story 2. Pretty much what you'd expect. Lots of not very good, not very long relationships. Puberty came very late for me, but with many physical gifts. My frizzy hair became shiny curls. My somewhat globular figure became a knockout bod. I was still so insecure and lonely, I would jump into things too quickly or get so turned off the whole thing and spent years single, when I now realize there was plenty of good guys out there had I made the effort. Most of the time, I went out with guys who came on pretty strong and showered me with affection at first. These guys coveted me when they met me, but weren't that interested in really being all that nice to me in the long run. In retrospect, I think I was like a prize to win, a manic pixie dream girl. I think when they figured out I was a real person with needs, wants, ideas, and ambitions of my own, their interest cooled. Usually, these guys didn't break it off with me. Several even told me outright it was because they couldn't imagine doing better than me, even if they weren't that into it. They just got more and more distant and difficult, and eventually I had to do the dirty work myself. Interestingly, I would say my husband is in the same category as I am. Traditionally attractive, but socially awkward, though he was never an ugly duckling at all. In his case, it seems he never got the memo about being handsome and doesn't even really understand what traditionally attractive is for either gender. He finds me beautiful and attractive, but doesn't have a type at all. He doesn't even seem to understand that there are rules as to what people generally consider to be attractive. He goes on an individual basis. All his girlfriends, including me, basically had to make all the moves to make things happen. I even proposed to him. Do you think this points out a difference between male and female attractiveness? That guys don't have to do as much as girls would do to make themselves feel attractive or attract people? I kind of think it is. Guys, there's always the joke that girls have to go through all these products and put on makeup and everything in the morning, and guys just have to be clean and comb their hair. Maybe it's not, but what do you think? Story 3. I'm physically attractive. I'm fit, tall, young. I'm active and healthy. I dress very well and make sure everything fits perfectly that I wear. People often ask me if I'm a model, especially when I wear a suit. People tell me all the time I look like a Ralph Lauren model. Someone like that gets all the women, right? Nope. I'm very shy and a very boring person. My only interests are golf, and I'm not trying to pick up old, perverted, closeted gay men, especially because I'm very much straight. I go to the gym and keep to myself. If I'm not at work, I'm going home to most likely play video games because I have no one else to do activities or things with. People will talk to me, and I have a very blank palate and can't hold a conversation to save my life. I have no idea how to talk to people. I'll check girls out. They'll check me out. But that's about it, because if I approached them, I wouldn't be able to talk more than hello. I do a lot of activities solo because I'm very spontaneous, and the few friends I do have wouldn't be able to keep up with me or will just slow me down. I haven't had a girlfriend in years because I'm very socially awkward. Going to a bar and hooking up with someone is pretty easy when you have alcohol going through you and everyone around you. But I want a partner, not a one-night stand who's only interested because we're both mutually frisky and drunk. I can honestly say that looks open doors. Talking gets you through them. I can only open the doors. Again, very self-reflective here. A very big amount of self-awareness. It's kind of good that sort of he knows where he stands. Do you think that he probably doesn't do a lot for his friends? He doesn't think they'll reciprocate? It sounds like he's saying they couldn't keep up with me. Maybe you do something to try and be on their level, to do something for your friends. Do you think he's being a little self-centered here? Story 4. I'm an exceptionally bad conversationalist. I can't do small talk at all. It's prematurely ended a lot of potential relationships for me. It's a bit of a depressing cycle. At this point, I'm very used to attracting women based on my physical appearance and then having them ghost out after a few days or weeks because I come off as if I have no personality. No one's ever been honest enough to just outright tell me that I'm boring, and I don't know if I appreciate the politeness or resent it. In reality, I like to think that I'm a pretty entertaining and interesting person. I'm an extreme introvert, and it takes me an exceptionally long time to open up to people. The only people I'm ever myself around are family that I've grown up with all my life, or a few close friends that I've known for years. To those people, I'm a cut-up, life of the party type, hopefully witty and easy to talk to. To everyone else, I'm the quiet guy. If they go out of their way to get to know me, I come off as distant and standoffish. For the ones that are interested enough to fight through that, they see that after a few weeks or months, I'm still pretty closed off. Most people give up after that. Relationship-wise, I feel like I have a lot to offer, but my social awkwardness constantly sabotages it. I just never know what to say. I think too hard about what I'm going to say, and all too often it results in me not saying anything. Story 5. When I was a kid, sports were my escape from a confusing social structure that I didn't really understand. Just hanging out with people, I didn't know what to expect from people or what was expected from me, so I avoided it. However, when I was playing a sport, I knew exactly what was going on. I especially took to swimming because it was a solitary sport and I loved the water. When I was mid-race, it was like I was by myself. That, of course, means that I got into ridiculously good shape and trained myself to work out as a response to stress. Where some people would eat more when they got awkward, I would just go to the gym and build up a nice adrenaline high to burn the stress away. The end result is that while I was still the same awkward and shy guy that I used to be, I was in fantastic shape. I've since slowly gotten less awkward, mostly by using physical activities of various kinds to ease myself into social situations. However, I'm still pretty shy and have a tendency to still get a bit awkward in social settings. However, I'm more swole now than ever, and I'm still exercising almost every day. I feel a level of privacy and self-satisfaction during a good workout that can't be matched by anything else. Story 6. My wife. Oh man, she's a reasonably attractive woman, 40, well put together, and super charming and funny. She's so awkward though. She's like a personification of that awkward penguin meme. Someone, good afternoon. My wife, good. You? Followed by 2-second pause, then embarrassed giggling. For a woman as cute as she is, she's never been able to do a spicy thing in her life on purpose. She always stops mid-attempt and just starts giggling like she's 8 and someone said the word penis. We'll be out and dudes are constantly flirting with her and she's completely oblivious. We don't wear wedding rings, and if I leave her alone for a minute, someone will be chatting with her and she just has no idea what's going on. She's constantly being checked out and is totally in the dark. It's literally the only way I was able to get her because she's so oblivious to how cute and charming she can be. She's just too awkward to know better. And if any of you fill her in on my scam, it's your butt. My girlfriend is roughly the same. She doesn't giggle, but she is attractive and people hit on her all the time and she just doesn't realize. So she just acts super nice to them. Infinite loop. This sounds like the kind of trope, Bo Burnham sang about it in a song once, that guys want a girl who's really attractive and hot, but they don't really know it, so that they kind of feel safe that even if guys are hitting on her, she doesn't know what to do in those situations. I do think it's kind of a male ego thing that they'll feel safe, but still get the hot girl. I don't think that's kind of that fair. What do you think? Story 7. This is a good one for me. I am a tall, classically handsome man. Genetics win. I'm also diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and sometimes it can be hard for me to be social. Genetics fail. Anyway, I think the moral of the story here is physically attractive people can get away with being socially awkward because people are automatically more interested in talking to someone that's attractive. Because of this, the cycle continues. I try to work on social interactions, but have never had to focus on becoming better because I have a buffer. There are bad sides. I really focus on being nice, and people take this the wrong way. I currently have a stalker. Bummer. I've led people on romantically, especially in my youth, because I have trouble reading social cues, and my anxiety/depression sometimes makes me think that there's no way someone is actually interested in me. Definitely a blessing and a curse. The blessings are I modeled in college, so no school debt. Getting a first date is easier. For all those people who are physically attractive but don't want to be, I have some wise words from Mean Girls for you. You're a regulation hottie. Own it. This is so true. Fake it till you make it. Story 9. As a preteen and teen, I was not cute. I went through that awkward, chubby phase and just didn't know how to work with my curly hair and was teased a lot. No boys liked me, and PE sucked because I was the slow, chubby girl, and I was in the RSP program to top it off. The RSP damaged me the most, and I still have a sort of complex about it. Then, like freaking magic, when I turned 18, the baby fat melted off. I knew how I wanted to look, and suddenly I was considered beautiful and a stunner. My head never caught up with that, making me low-hanging desperate fruit until I managed to get married. Twice before the age of 26. So I'm still painfully shy and see myself as mentally handicapped in some way. So I consistently choose jobs where I can sort of hide from people or require more physical work. I start a new job with a lot of customer interaction tomorrow, and I'm absolutely terrified of dealing with people because I think I seem odd. During the first marriage, I didn't work at all and hid myself away like a hermit, but he also was insecure and felt more secure if I was home. Story 9. I got some swarthiness and tan-inclined, age-resistant skin from my dad's side, oily bohunk. But I got some height and wingspan from my mom's Swedish side. Very big, round, dark, childlike eyes and baby cheeks, all according to my wife, by the way. I was always quite athletically inclined. But also from my mom's side, I got a healthy dose of autism. Not medically, just the normal Scandinavian kind. A high-strung and shy internal environment combined with a stoic outward appearance. Girls in school kept pestering me. "Sarah wants you to ask her out." I would always comply because I was scared of defying these aggressive girls. I'd walk over to Sarah. "Want to go out?" She'd say yes. I'd walk back to my seat and try my best to ignore them. Certainly never intending to actually go anywhere. That happened like 3 times with the most popular and attractive girls in school, and I summarily squandered all of it. One relationship even lasted over the summer, despite essentially no contact. I guess we were still going out in August. How was I supposed to know? Sorry, Sarah, Gladys, Lisa, Zeba, and one more I forgot. I'm sure you were nice, but I had trees to climb. People always talk about the guys that go after the trophy wife or trophy husband. Do you think these girls were trying to go after the trophy boyfriend? Or were they actually looking for something deeper? Not sure. I think it's kind of 50-50. What do you think? Story 10. My brother is 5 years older than me, and almost every day he was in high school, he would come home and tell me, "All shrews are crazy. Never get a girlfriend." He would seriously say this every day, and being my older and only brother, I practically took his word like scripture. And it kind of messed up how I view women. It's hard to talk to them. I kind of blame my brother. There are probably some other things, like my not-so-good relationship with my mom. Guys talk about girls with daddy issues. Let me tell you, guys with mommy issues is a thing too. I perfectly understand you. I think my mom loves me, but when I was a kid/teenager, my mom used to tell me that I should act normal instead of being a goofball. Combined with the fact that I've always been kind of an outsider, I only started realizing that people might actually find me attractive in my late teens. So here I am now, a reasonably handsome and well-built 21-year-old virgin. Story 11. Total ugly duckling here. I was fat and didn't take care of my appearance all through high school. Moved out of my parents' house and lost a ton of weight and started wearing clothes that fit. Turns out I'm pretty handsome now. Problem is, I didn't learn any of the social things you're supposed to learn in high school. I can't flirt, I can't ask anyone out, and I don't know how to make a move or show interest. I've had a woman come up and start dancing on me at a show, and I have no idea what to do. I literally start getting a mild anxiety attack. I feel like I'm broken as a person. But hey, at least I'm an attractive broken person, even if I'll most likely never get laid. The key is practice. You need to have those mild anxiety attacks and make yourself look like a fool a few times so you can learn those skills.
Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day.
Story 12. I asked a guy out. He wasn't very good looking, but we had some things in common, and I thought he was nice. We went to his house to hang out and watch TV. Not really a brilliant first date, but whatever. I had to meet him at his house because he said his dad wouldn't allow him to have passengers in his car. I met his dad. It seemed okay. Later, said he didn't want to get involved with me because he said his dad told him I was out to take advantage of him. Because I was a lot better looking than him, I must have some kind of ulterior motive. I don't know what, though. He wasn't rich or anything. He later sent me a rambling 12-page breakup letter, even though we hung out once. I think I dodged a bullet there.
Yes, you did.
I've had a first date where we just went to my place and watched TV. Nothing else. It just got awkward. There was just no way to make a connection, and there was the TV just playing this program, so I don't know. Have any of you ever had a first date where it did not end up in spicy time but still ended up being a good first date? Story 13. Asperger's gets in the way, and I like spending a lot of time in my head or reading stuff. Also, some nasty issues that hinder my ability to have a boyfriend. but I'm still too scared to bring them up with my therapist, so yeah. Which doesn't help at all because I'm on my way to 25 years old, look like a 16-year-old, and am generally considered attractive and charming by a lot of people. But the truth is, I'm just clueless most of the time and have to pay extra attention to what's going on because of that. And even then, I'm just clueless and really bad at reading faces or paying attention to situations. To the point I may laugh if you're mad at me because I think your face looks funny. I don't do it as much as when I was a kid, though. Story 14. My boyfriend. Many women/girls have been attracted to him, and I think he's the hottest thing since habanero fire. Back when we were friends and I was trying to set him up with one of my female friends, I was in a relationship at the time, his idea of flirting was to send her a picture of a crate of soup at Costco with the line, "Hey, baby, I heard you want some soup," because I mentioned to him that she was sick and he should probably bring her some soup or something. I thought it was hilarious, but she didn't seem to get it. Go figure. He's my awkward soup Nazi now. With context, this is hilarious, but I could just imagine getting this text out of the blue and being so confused. Story 15. I would say I'm decently attractive now. However, I wasn't cute or very social in high school. Very into the scene kid trend and went to a tiny private Christian school, so I was super weird compared to everyone. So I had like 2 friends. Then dated a very controlling guy for about 5 years. So throughout most of my college life, he kept me from going out a lot and controlled who I could be friends with. Now I had like 3 friends. Once we broke up, I started being more social. I got told I was awkwardly adorable a few times, but mostly got that I have resting shrew face. I'm getting better at it, but sometimes I still do weird stuff or just get super quiet, so I just end up looking angry. Story 16. I hear, "You're very handsome. X thinks you're pretty/good looking. I think they fancy you," from people, and I have or had absolutely no idea. If I notice someone looking at me in public, I assume I have something on my face or get paranoid. Not that they're checking me out. I can't take compliments without coming across arrogant. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just flustered on how to respond. I don't consider myself very attractive, and I can't flirt or approach someone I find attractive. But as someone else has said, sometimes people think I'm flirting when I'm just trying to make conversation. To be honest, I don't even know what flirting is at this point. Story 17. I always get the, "Why are you single?" question from people I hang out with. Truth is, while I'm very outwardly outgoing and sociable, I have terrible anxiety, and I'm basically acting my way through social engagements. This comes from years of being overly sheltered by my parents, never being let out of their sight, even through high school, and generally not being allowed to do the usual things that kids do growing up and building those social skills. I've been told I'm attractive, but when I look in the mirror, I just see some short, awkward kid. And even with recent changes to my lifestyle and living arrangements, I still have trouble socializing on a regular basis. Story 18. In high school, I was very shy about talking to girls. Fast forward to my 20-year reunion, and I say hi to an attractive woman. She was cute in high school, too. At the bar, while waiting for a drink, she simply says, "Oh, now you say hi. You were too good to talk to me in high school." No, just too dang shy and weird. That's how I imagine my high school reunion being. I had girls interested in me, but I just was too awkward. However, now things have changed. Once in a while, I wonder what it will be like at a reunion and get a good chuckle out of it. Story 19. I was morbidly obese and had terrible acne as a kid. I was shy and had zero self-confidence. Never had a girlfriend all through high school and college. After I joined the army and lost tons of weight and gained tons of muscle, I was suddenly in great shape and making money, but I still had literally zero experience with girls or dating. I learned the basics of relationships that most guys learn in high school when I was in my mid-20s. Better late than never. Honestly, not as uncommon learning it at that age as might seem. At least early 20s. Story 20. I got bullied pretty badly throughout grade school, but at around 11th grade, puberty hit me like a hurricane. I went from short and snot-nosed to tall and good-looking real quick, but without the social skills and self-confidence to back it up. Fast forward to today, currently at uni, got myself picked up by an extroverted girl back in senior high. I'm very lucky to have her. She's been helping me straighten myself out. I still have a long way to go, though. I'm going to get myself checked next week for social anxiety, so I hope that helps. Story 21. Hello there. Pro mountain biker with Asperger's here. Currently studying engineering and on my way to applying to a couple of modeling agencies. In my early 20s and never been kissed or had a girlfriend. My story? Obsessively training every day instead of partying and going out is not the way to sharpen your social skills. On top of that, having Asperger's, which I didn't find out until I was 21, didn't help much either. I don't regret it at all, though. I get paid to ride bikes, and some of the best people and closest friends I met through cycling. Story 22. I don't like being the center of attention and hate when people look at me or talk to me. But I'm what you would call physically attractive, so people are drawn to me anyway. I would prefer being invisible, to be honest. Same here. I feel so out of place when the attention is on me. I have trouble even making eye contact with people. I can tell it irks them, but I try to make eye contact, though. But it feels awkward to me if I do that too long. I'm hella weird. Story 23. I was a chunky, socially awkward dude, and I was upset with myself because I was too self-conscious to talk to women. Started exercising and eating right, lost 50 pounds, and, well, still didn't help with that social awkwardness. But hey, bright side is I'm more likely to find shirts in my size at conventions now. This is my story too, and I'm guessing it's the primary reason why an attractive person might be awkward. The gear is new, and we're still getting used to wearing it. Story 24. I think I'm attractive? The fact that I'm unsure is probably the biggest indicator of my social awkwardness. But honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I look great, and other times I'm just like, dear deity, man, what the hell is wrong with your face? Some people say I'm handsome, and others say I'm not, and I don't know anymore. It's funny, actually. In most aspects of my life, I'm a psychopathic perfectionist, so when I look into the mirror and something is wrong, I just freak the hell out. Story 25. Both of my parents are narcissists. One may be full-on sociopathic. Was sick a lot as a child. Quasimodo up until junior year. Hardly ever had any friends. Got tall, got thin, got handsome. It's a miracle that I haven't snapped and become a complete monster. More or less get into short-term things anymore. Can ask me anything. It's weird to just talk about it at large because things can get comical to outright dark depending on the situation. Story 26. All of my friends. Why are you still single? You're handsome, funny, and actually a good person. Me. Are you making a pass at me? I'm either incredibly oblivious to being flirted with or really bad at flirting in public. All my best game is literally when I'm alone with someone or over the internet. It makes going to social events and getting called out for flirting with someone the ultimate unaliving sentence because then I'm conscious of it. Story 27. Female, 35 here. Attractive face and body, maybe 8.5 out of 10. In real world, celebrities not included. I look younger than I am. I have Asperger's. It doesn't necessarily make you awkward looking or unattractive. You learn how to dress like other women and how to pass as normal. It works as long as you don't have to socialize with your coworkers. Story 28. I don't know how attractive I am, but I get one or two girls crushing on me every couple of months for whatever reason. It sucks because they're always super nice and deserve the best, but I just end up hurting their feelings because I'm either too chicken to ask them out or I mess something up on a date. Story 29. I used to be fat and funny. Now I'm spicy and it made people find me less funny. When I act slapstick, people think I'm insane instead of jolly. Or when I'm sarcastic, people think I'm an arrogant jerk instead of witty. I'm still a fat teenager trapped in the body of a spicy adult. Story 30. I'm gay and guys are always trying to hook up with me. But I have such terrible performance anxiety that I shy away from ever being with anyone because of the embarrassment. In return, guys think I'm snobby and stuck up and have really high standards. It sucks. Story 31. You will constantly hear people say to you, she's attracted to you, or she said she likes you. So then you sit there thinking she's going to make a move, but instead you just watch her give up on you and eventually end up in a relationship with another guy. Story 32. Got significantly more attractive around the end of my 20s. Apparently, I'm hot now. But being ugly and told I was ugly for 25 years, I don't believe the compliments or flirting from the ladies/gay men. That's pretty much me, but gender roles reversed. Story 33. I was a fat kid throughout high school. I lifted my way out of obesity and actually became pretty muscular. But you can't lift your way out of social awkwardness. Not with that attitude. Story 34. I had a rough time through high school. Developed social skills as an upperclassman. To this day, you could scream, "I think you're freaking hot," and I could still miss the hint. Story 35. I think I should have listened when my dad told me to go outside and learn to socialize instead of playing World of Warcraft for 10 hours a day from ages 14 to 23. Story 36. People tell me I'm attractive and have a perfect smile, but I think I'm ugly and feel like I walk weird and I'm too short. Just say, "Please, Mom, stop."
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.